Okay, for question 30, figure P is made up of 6 identical squares. 2 squares were removed from figure P to form figure Q. The perimeter of figure P is 240 cm. What is the perimeter of figure Q? Now, this one, to do it in a very efficient way, right? So one square, I know that there are 4 sides. Okay, so in total, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 squares. So 6 times 4, there's a total of 24 sides. However, not all 24 sides are outside. So what we can do is we can minus the ones that are being covered. So what do I mean? Okay, let's say I look at this line now. There are when there's one line here, it's made up of 2 sides that are being joined together. So this one. So when I highlight one line, it's actually referring to 2 sides. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I'm going to remove 12 sides from the total 24 sides. So I'm left with 12 sides that are outside actually. Okay, so I know 12 sides, equal sides is 240 cm. So one side will be 240 divided by 12, which would be 20. Okay, one side is 20 cm. Now, how to do this question? This question, same thing, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 squares, so each side is 4, so 16. Then I will same thing, minus off the one that are inside. That's not part of the perimeter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 16 sides minus 6. I'm only left 10 sides that are outside actually. So 10 times 20, you will have 200 cm for the perimeter. That's question 30. Okay. Question 31. The shaded figure below is formed using 3 squares and 3 equilateral triangles. The length of the straight line AB is 15 cm. So this 15 cm is made up of this one line, and this blue line. You cannot assume the measurements for this because they never tell you exactly what are the measurements. You only know an orange, a pink, and a blue adds up to 15. I say again, an orange, a pink, and a blue, it adds up to 15. So we're going to put them, this is actually the idea of grouping as well. So we put them into groups like this, okay? So next one, I have 1 orange, 1 pink, and 1 blue. That's 2 groups. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 groups. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 groups. And then 1, 2, 3. That's 5. And then last one, 1, 2, and 3. Total, there are 6 groups. 6 groups of 1 orange, 1 pink, 1 blue. 6 groups. So 1 group is 15. So 6 groups is 6 times 15. And that will give me 5 groups here. Count wrongly, total 5 groups. 5 groups in total, so 75. Okay, there are 5 groups. So 1 orange, 1 pink, 1 blue. You cannot count this middle line because we're talking about the perimeter. So this line is not included. So total that should only be 5. All right. Question 32. The block of wood shown below was dipped into a pail of paint. The block was then cut into 4 identical cubes along the dotted lines and taken apart. The total unpainted area of the 4 cubes was 150 square centimeter. What was the volume of each cube? Now, same thing. This idea is the same as this one here. Okay. So between one dotted line that I highlighted here, there are 2 faces that are being stuck together. So these 2, 4, and then 6. So a total of 6 faces were actually covered. So 6 faces covered will give me 150, because it's unpainted now. If it's covered, it's unpainted. So one face would be 150 divided by 6, which should bring me to 25 square centimeter. And I know these are square faces. So to find one side of the square is 25 square root, you get 5 cm. So the volume would be length times breadth times height, which is 5 times 5 times 5. I'll get 125 square centimeter. Okay, that's 32. 35. They want to find the length of BC in the end. They want to know this. Okay, so what I can do is I know this one here. Can you see? I can find this one, which is actually half times 6 times 8, which is 24. This 24 square centimeter. So if this 24, this one here must also be 24 square centimeter because it's half of the rectangle. These are two equal triangles. You see cut here in the middle. And then if I cover this, what can you see? You can see that this triangle is actually half of this rectangle. So this full rectangle will be 24 times 2, 48. So this rectangle is 48 square centimeter. So I know length times breadth give you 48. I'm given the length 10, so the breadth would be 48 divided by 10, 4.8 cm. Okay, that's it. Next one. 37. At a sale, Mr. Lin bought 10 mugs of the same kind. His sister bought 8 such mugs, and she also bought 3 towels at $2.50 each. Altogether, she spent $2.30 less than Mr. Lim. What was the total amount of money Mr. Lim and sister spent? So very simple. So this is 10 mugs. Okay, and then what the sister bought was 8 mugs and 3 towels. And there was a difference of $2.30 less as compared to Mr. Lim. So this is Mr. Lim. This is sister. Okay, so I would know that this 3 towels is 3 times 250, which is 750. So this is 750. All right. So can you see that 10 marks, 8 marks, there is a difference of 2 marks. So 2 marks is actually 750 plus 230. That would be 980. Okay, 980, yeah. Then what I can do is I can actually find 18 marks. Because 10 marks plus 8 marks, 18 marks. So 980 is times 9, yeah. Times 9. So 980 times 9. That would be $88.20. $88.20 plus the 3 towers, which I already found here, 750. That would be $95.70. Okay, that's question 37. Next one, the last one that you requested for, question 39. A fruit stall sold pears at 70 cents each and apples at 40 cents each. Sally bought some pears and Tom bought some apples from the fruit stall. Sally spent 1/10 more than Tom, but had 7 fruits fewer than Tom's. So it's very confusing because there's Sally, there's Tom, there's pears and apples. So let's get it clear. Sally buy pears, Tom buy fruits. Okay, so we're just going to stick to using pears and fruits. So this is your grouping tree. Number, pears, and fruit apples, sorry. So Sally spent 1/10 more than Tom, but had 7 fruits fewer than Tom. So Sally bought lesser fruits and Sally bought pears. So I'm going to draw lesser for pears and more for apples, difference of 7. Okay, for the value, pears and apples, again, same thing. Sally spent more. So Sally bought pears. So I'm going to draw a longer bar for pears, $1.10 more. And then apples is this amount. Okay. Now, the thing here is same thing I told you. The number is different, the value is different. I cannot say which one is more expensive or cheaper because the number of items are not the same. So how? We have to make the number of items the same by either removing a 7 or we add on a 7. So in this case, because I want to find pairs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the 7 apples. I'm going to remove the 7 apples. Okay. So when I remove 7 apples, 1 apple is 40 cents. So 7 times 40 cents would be 280 cents, which is $2.80. Okay, so I'm going to remove the $2.80 from here as well, since I'm removing a 7. So they have a gap total here of $2.80 plus $6.10 now, which is $8.90. Even though I have the same number of pears and apples now, my pears is $8.90 more than the apples. Why? Because 1 pear is 70 cents, 1 apple is 40 cents. So 1 pear is 30 cents more than the apples. So 70 cents minus 40 cents, that's a difference of 30 cents. Okay, so I'm going to take 830, the difference, divide by groups of 30 cents. And I should end up with sorry guys, this should be $1.10. My mistake is not 6 cents. Give me a minute. Yeah, so it should be 390. So it should be 390 divided by 80 cents. 390 divided by 30 cents. It will be 13 groups. 13 groups of 1 pear and 1 apple, because I'm comparing 1 to 1. Okay, 13 groups. How many pears did Sally buy? So Sally will buy 13 groups times 1, 13 pairs. 13 pairs. And for the apples, how much did Tom spend on the apples? So end up apples is 13 plus 7, 20 apples. And 1 apple is 40 cents. So 20 times 40 cents, you end up with $8. So that's the answer. Okay.